Good morning, Rayfield. We're going to talk very briefly, very simply about the parts of a computer. Now, most of you know the actual parts of the computer, but we're just going to talk about them for a few minutes briefly. And as our videos continue about the computer, we will get more in depth as we go along. So we're going to learn some terms about the computer. I want you to look at this picture that I'm showing you and see if you actually recognize each one of those items in the picture. Because each one of those items in the picture does have a name. And it is an important part of the computer, and they do very different jobs. For example, the computer monitor is usually the biggest part of the computer. It kind of reminds us of a TV screen. The monitor is the part of the computer where you're going to be able to view what's happening inside the computer and what you are actually creating with the computer. So that's called the monitor. And now these parts are the parts that record everything that we're doing. You have a USB drive that you normally carry with you to keep your files on. You have a disk that usually goes inside the computer, and that's where you store information also. And then also inside the computer, there is a storage device that records all of the documents and all of the pictures and whatever you're working on. These are the storage processing parts of the computer. These are the parts of the computer that hold your data. Whatever you created and whatever you've done, these are the parts where you will be able to find your storage. They are very important because when you need your storage, you need to know where to locate it. And it's usually, or has to be actually, in this part of the computer, the storage of the computer. And now, think very carefully now. You have the input, the process, the output. We call those areas the information processing cycle, or the CPU parts of the computer. They're very important and they help us operate the computer. What goes in the computer, what's processed in the computer, and what comes out of the computer. Central processing unit. Information processing cycle is what you're seeing on your screen right now, showing us how that operates. So we can see the arrow that goes from input to process, from process to output, and then to the final result. The information processing cycle on a computer. Very, very important. And as I said, this is very basic, but it's very informational. Now, these are the actual physical parts. I'm sure all of you remember the mouse. You can see that on the left. You can see the keyboard where we learn the different parts of the keys or where they are so we know how to type our words. And then the printer, the thing that produces our output so that we can have a document to use. And then there are scanners that we scan things into the computer with. And then there's microphones where we actually talk to the computer. And in some instances, talking to the computer is recorded and we can actually have the computer type for us in this modern day and time. That's a new way of inputting information into the computer with our microphone. So take a careful look at these parts of the computer. Make sure that you know them. This is exciting, Rayfield. We've just learned the basic parts of the computer. Thank you. Let's have a great day.